Good afternoon, everyone. This is George Weigel speaking to you from the study of my home a few miles north of St. Jane. I look forward to being with you in person on the later Sundays of Lent, post-vaccination. But at the moment, I wanted to simply say hello, to say how glad I am that the parish is sharing in the Roman Station Church pilgrimage of Lent during this coming Lent. Through the book Roman Pilgrimage, the Station Churches, which was the product of a remarkable experience I had with my son Stephen and the art critic Elizabeth Lev in Rome just 10 years ago in 2011. We wanted to share that experience of the Roman Station Church pilgrimage, a unique feature of Catholic life, with the world church, and thus the book that really is the material of this Lenten program at St. Jane's this year. We'll be reflecting in the weeks ahead on some of the themes in that book. In just a moment, there'll be a short video taking you through very quickly all of the station churches of Rome, explaining what the Stational Church pilgrimage is. But now I simply wanted to greet all of you on this Sunday before Ash Wednesday, to wish you a good and holy Lent, and to say how much I look forward to being with you, either by technical means over the next few weeks, and hopefully in person during the later weeks of Lent. Thank you for joining this Roman pilgrimage at home here at the wonderful parish of St. Jane Francis de Chantal. Thank you for your friendship over many years. I look forward to being with you in person soon. And now let's reflect together briefly on the station churches of Rome and their meaning for us today. The Roman Station Church pilgrimage of Lent takes us back in time to the first centuries of Christianity in Rome after the Constantinian settlement of the year 303. Christians had, of course, been living in Rome for hundreds of years, as we know from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, and as during this Lenten Station Church pilgrimage we'll be reminded by the Stational Church of St. Pudenziana, which is reputed to be one of St. Peter's homes in Rome. But it was only after the Constantinian settlement and the full legalization of Christianity that the church was able to be fully a public presence in Rome. And in the centuries immediately after Constantine, the tradition formed of the Pope, the Bishop of Rome, leading a daily pilgrimage in the afternoon from one church called the Collecta, from the place where the people would congregate or collect, to a second church called the Statio, in Latin, the station, where the Pope and his choir and assisting clergy would celebrate Holy Mass with a large congregation, and then break the daily Lenten fast, which was day-long in that era, with a meal, a common meal, after Mass. This tradition continued for hundreds of years. It was regularized by Pope St. Gregory the Great in the late 6th and early 7th centuries. But as the papacy began to be more of an administrative office than a pastoral office, the Station Church pilgrimage, which had a major influence on forming the liturgy of Lent, began to fall into desuetude. Interestingly enough, the idea of making this annual Lenten pilgrimage to the stations fixed in the calendar by Pope St. Gregory the Great has been revived in our time by Americans, by the students of the Pontifical North American College, beginning in the mid-1970s and continuing down to today. So, the Station Church pilgrimage in Rome, which now can attract on an early Lenten morning as many as 600 or 700 people, is very much an American gift to the Universal Church in its present form. This video, which you're now watching, is a brief introduction to all of the station churches, each of which is described in detail in the book Roman Pilgrimage, the Station Churches, which I hope many of you have had the opportunity to obtain. This video reminds us of the many architectural and artistic marvels that we encounter along the Station Church path, as well as an extraordinary number of relics. Beauty and history, we're reminded by these station churches, are indeed pathways to God. And meeting the saints, some of them familiar, some not so familiar, is another pathway to a deeper appreciation of the Christian life. We meet many familiar saints along the Stational Church pilgrimage. We visit the tombs of St. Peter and St. Paul. But we also go to the Church of St. Lawrence in Damaso, originally the home of Pope St. Damasus I, whose secretary was St. Jerome, the great biblical scholar, and it was Pope St. Damasus who created the cult of the martyrs in Rome, bringing the relics of many martyrs back from the catacombs into the city. The first of the station churches, St. Sabina, was built on a site that St. Jerome himself used to frequent with a circle of disciples. We meet remarkable relics along this pilgrim path. The pillar of the scourging of the Lord at the little station church of St. Praxedes, the relics of the Passion at the Church of Holy Cross in Jerusalem. What all of these artifacts of Christian history remind us is that Christianity is not a pious story or myth. Christianity is built on the conversion of people who have met the Lord personally, as St. Peter, or through the friends of the Lord who have offered others the gift that they have been given of friendship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Ordinary people transformed by faith into men and women capable of extraordinary things and great witness is what makes the Catholic Church what it is. And to make this Roman Station Church pilgrimage is to be reminded of that. During this Lent, I hope you will use the book Roman Pilgrimage as your daily companion along the way, as it offers you an opportunity to reflect on the rich menu of biblical readings and biblical commentary the Church offers us every year, and to pray with those making the pilgrimage in Rome for the renewal of the Church and the conversion of the world.